Hi, hello, we welcome you to Statecraft IAS Academy. So, today we are going to have a conversation with all the UPSC CSE aspirants. And to begin with, first thing is how was your CSE prelims and what was your thought overall? Yes, definitely the prelims was on the difficult side, maybe because it was little more factual and it had little more tricky questions. But as per our discussion with different students and assessing the previous trends, if you are scoring above 81, then definitely you should start your mains preparation today. Mainly because the paper was on difficult side and the CSAT could play a role in this year's determining GS cutoff. So start your preparation now today for mains and your success awaits. How do we start mains preparation? As you all know, mains has multiple dimensions that you have to cover, but whoever does well in GS papers, which is the common papers, has an edge, and this plays a pivotal role. For this purpose, Statecraft IAS Academy has launched the UPSC Mains Workbook, which is a one of its type attempt from the Statecraft Academy, wherein in every topic of the UPSC syllabus, primarily every subtopic, we will first be giving you the last 10 years PYQ that have appeared in the subtopic. So how does it work? Let's take a sample of GS1 workbook that is based on salient features of Indian society. But one has to be careful because society itself has many parts. Okay, many subtopics. For example, to begin with, we have the first subtopic, that is cultural diversity and pluralism. Now, when it comes to cultural diversity and pluralism, for the last 10 years, you can see the number of questions that have come. In 2013, it was effects of globalization on aged population. In 2015, it was on the cultural elements of the diversity and rate the relative significance in national identity. So the workbook gives an idea of the trend for last 10 years at every subtopic level. Okay, so the most recent question in this has been critically analyze the proposition that a high correlation between India's cultural diversities and economic marginalities. Right. So once we have an idea of what are the previous questions that have come, now we go to the workbook wherein what could be the questions in that particular dimension. So let's take, for example, what is meant by the term cosmopolitan culture. So these are some 10 marker exhaustive questions because the workbook promises you to address multi-angle and multi-dimensional type of problem or questions to be asked. So for example, family, caste, or religion operate both integrative and divisive forces. Social stratification in India are different from Western notions. So there are 10 marker questions, then there are 12.5 marker questions, which primarily has two subsections and a 15 marker long answer questions of 250 marks just on one subtopic, that is the salient features of Indian society on the diversity part. Then you can see on the diversity, so that is the salient features, and here we have the diversity set of questions. Next, coming to, for example, role of women and women organization, what all questions are possible. See, in the first part of the book, you have the PYQs, like I just showed you. So let's look at the PYQs of role of woman. What is the type of questions that have come? So you can see here role of women and women organizations, gender equity, empowerment, patriarchy, and feminism, male membership. So the most recent one have been in 2024, where two questions have come. One is gender equality, equity, and women's empowerment, and urban migration, skilled unmarried women from various classes, how this trend impacted relationships with family. So this workbook is an attempt to give you a holistic idea on what all has come and what all can come. Okay, so in typical test series, you are restricted to one question in, let's say, polity, one question in society, where you are asked about one of the dimensions. But when you are appearing for the exam, you need confidence that all the questions possible, you have an idea on it, what are the questions possible. So now, what is the timetable for the UPSC Mains Workbook? So we begin with society and social justice, ethics, disaster management, security, polity, governance, economy, IR, and so on, and it goes on till the case studies of GS4. As you all know, August 22nd is the UPSC Mains exam, and we are finishing well within that. Would this mm, workbook is prepared in guidance and in association with many toppers and officers who are already in service, who think that attempting multiple dimensional questions is more important while one manages the time part of it. So if you have any questions, there is a contact number in the description, and you can contact that. You will get a copy of all of this sample and the worksheet. We'll see you again. The academy is always open. You can come to the academy and also discuss. Thank you.